Meditate on Sri Ramakrishna for the peace and happiness of the whole humanity. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Sthapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namaha Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the God Supreme Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. In the last class, I was discussing about the topic learning is essential. One should be simple. It becomes easy to learn. That means one shouldn't have egoistic tendency. Then it makes one easy to learn things. And it is very important when you come to spiritual life, you must be free from ego. Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings show us a great deal to format our spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna's teachings are very effective and significant. His teaching was never a mere pouring out of words. When he gave a piece of instruction to an aspirant, it would penetrate the aspirant's entire being and altogether transform him. It should not be a case of words entering through one ear and passing away out through the other ear. Sometimes you hear academic pundits giving talks and discourses. They may be very good orators. You may applaud them, you may praise them, but after the end of the talk, when you go back home, whatever the orator has spoken academically, no doubt interesting, but it just doesn't enter into your heart. You have heard it, it stays for a while and it goes away. But Sri Ramakrishna's words are not like that. His teaching is not like that. Whoever comes to him for instruction and whatever Sri Ramakrishna gave, that would stay with the person and it would work tremendously well, and a person would become immensely grateful and he would feel immensely blessed. So his counsel was always living and vital and was the best suited to the recipient. Whenever any person would come to Sri Ramakrishna would see that person and would know all his background, and accordingly he would give instruction. So his instructions vary from person to person. According to the temperament of a person, Sri Ramakrishna would give instruction that would help the person to move onwards in spiritual path. Swami Vivekananda, who was also totally transformed by coming in touch with Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna recognized in him tremendous purity of heart, and he found that he was the most qualified recipient for the spiritual knowledge, well established in character, well suited for the spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna himself remarked that Swami Vivekananda has got all the marks of world leader, spiritual leader. He has got 18 special marks. So, Sri Ramakrishna could foresee the future event that would happen. So accordingly, he taught him, trained him perfectly. Swami Vivekananda said about Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna generally used to teach dualism. He would say, people, oh, you worship Lord Shiva, you worship Divine Mother, so you establish a different relationship and so on. That means subject-object would be there. Aspirant is the person who would meditate on the deity, another person. That means dualism. As a result, Sri Ramakrishna never taught Advaitism to each and every one. But then Swami Vivekananda says Sri Ramakrishna taught Advaita to him. And Vivekananda himself admits that he was a dualist before. There is an incident, very remarkable. In Sri Ramakrishna's room, there were a few books. Among them, there was one book, its name Ashtavakra Samhita. That text is done by great Maharshi, Ashtavakra, his name. He is Brahmarshi. He had realized the absolute Brahman. So whatever he had realized has been put in that textbook. But this particular textbook, Ashtavakra Samhita, is meant for very advanced souls in the path of knowledge. Ordinarily, people would not follow or understand the subtlety of the philosophy of non-dualism. So, Sri Ramakrishna would not encourage his other disciples to study the book. He would immediately say, this is not for you. And he would suggest some other books to disciples. You read Bhakti Rasamala, you read Narada Bhakti Sutra, you pray and worship. In that way, Sri Ramakrishna would give instructions to disciples. Because the text that was in Ashtavakra Samhita was not to be easily understood. But Vivekananda's case was exception. Whenever he would visit the master, Sri Ramakrishna would ask him to read a passage in the Ashtavakra Samhita. He would also tell Vivekananda to read about Adhyatma Ramayana, which also contains many passages of Advaitic import. In the beginning, Narendra would ridicule Advaita. He would make fun of non-dualism. But the master, who was adept in Advaita, who had attained Nirvikalpa Samadhi, who had realized the highest absolute Brahman, both in immanent and transcendent aspect, he would not let Vivekananda go easily. Even though Vivekananda ridiculed, Sri Ramakrishna never lost patience. He would tell him, you read that book, read a little to me. And the Swami had to read out the passage suggested by Sri Ramakrishna. In this process, Advaitic truths were implanted in Narendranath in a systematic way. The truths fell on fertile ground. When this seed is sown on a fertile ground, it is sure to sprout and becomes blossoming in course of time, gives nice fruits and flowers. Sri Ramakrishna knew Swami Vivekananda's mind was perfect and well suited to receive the seed of Advaita. So Sri Ramakrishna's calculated reservation of the Ashtavakra Samhita for a special study by Swami Vivekananda carries with it the lessons that in the absence of the right qualifications, the mere reading through a classical philosophical treatise will not produce any lasting beneficial result. If the person is really qualified, it will definitely yield correct results. And Vivekananda was such person. Swami Vivekananda says, books are useless to us until our own book opens. Then all other books are good so far as they confirm our book. So that is how Swami Vivekananda learned everything about spirituality. Not only he learned, he realized the truth in the very life by coming in contact with Sri Ramakrishna. So, through studying their life and teachings, we should learn. Learn how to do spiritual practice in a proper way. The teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, gospel, they are all meant for that. We have to learn. We have to be seriously desire to learn. Minds which are innocent of subtle logic, analytical philosophy, and expansive knowing may have access to profound truths and sublime states which lie hidden to trained intellects and scholarly dispositions. The profundity of Krishna was an open book to the rustic gopis, whereas his true nature was an enigma to many persons who then mattered much in public life. Many would not recognize Sri Krishna. Then the fishermen and the simple women adored Jesus, but the high and proud priests saw nothing great in him. We find the same phenomenon happening in Sri Ramakrishna's life too. Sri Ramakrishna was then past 30. Through his uncommon insight, he was able to see that certain inconspicuous villagers were quite advanced in spiritual worth. This discovery filled him with wonder at the inscrutability of God's ways. One afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna was resting in his room at the village after his lunch. A few women of the neighborhood came to visit him. They had known him from his boyhood days. They were very happy to see him even for a short while. Sri Ramakrishna had that attraction, a special divine attraction, and they were really drawn towards him because they were all very simple-hearted women. Those who are simple, they are very close to God, and God comes to them and they come to God. These women were talking with Sri Ramakrishna about the divine. When they were in course of talking, Sri Ramakrishna, as usual, all of a sudden dived into deep, absorbed state. He went into samadhi, the blissful state of spiritual rapture. Samadhi was almost his natural state of being. On that occasion, he felt he was in the ocean of Chidananda, the existence, knowledge, bliss absolute. He was a fish, as it were, swimming playfully in the waters of Chidananda. Sometimes the fish came onto the surface and at other times dived far down, enjoying itself immensely. One of the ladies among the group, she remarked, a simple, extremely simple village woman, look at her observation of Sri Ramakrishna and her insight. She said she has not referred to any scriptures or any such thing. Out of her intuition, she is telling, she said, Sri Ramakrishna has now become a fish. In Bengal, they are all very familiar with fish. So she is telling, Sri Ramakrishna has now become a fish. He is having a swim in the ocean of Satchidananda. Seeing his samadhi state, this lady is describing Sri Ramakrishna that way. She told the other ladies to keep silent, not to make noise, otherwise it would disturb Sri Ramakrishna's blissful state. So the other ladies just followed and kept silent on the advice of this woman who remarked that way. Later on, they were surprised to hear from Sri Ramakrishna that what the lady had told about him was indeed true. Now, how that woman could have known it at all, how strange. Sri Ramakrishna remarked in amazement. Sri Ramakrishna was astonished how that simple lady could explain the samadhi state in such a beautiful way, which was true. Sri Ramakrishna is acknowledging her observation, and she could observe Sri Ramakrishna in that way because she was extremely simple pure-hearted. Another incident, there was a lady by name Bhanu Pishi, her name. She was in Jairambati. She was very dear to Holy Mother. That lady was pure-hearted and had the insight to comprehend Sri Ramakrishna's greatness. Even Sri Ramakrishna was not known to people at large, but this villager, this village woman had come to know about the greatness of Sri Ramakrishna by her intuition. At that time, Sri Ramakrishna had not yet become the adored of the world. Bhanu, that lady, she said to Sri Ramakrishna's mother-in-law, "Well, madam, your son-in-law," that is referring to Sri Ramakrishna, "do you know who he is? He is Lord Shiva. He is none other than Lord Krishna himself." That lady is telling, "You may not believe me now, but I tell you, you will believe me in future." It is said that Bhanu was able to recognize even in those early days and in her own way that Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Sharda Devi were like Lord Shiva and Parvati. She used to sing, "As thou art beautiful, my little child Sharda, thou hast got a groom who is both mad and naked," referring to Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual quality. She was singing that way. The villagers of her day considered Bhanu a little too emotional, and they didn't give any importance to what she said. But the divine glory of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother has become well known now. Now we know, we can't but marvel at Bhanu's foresight and intuition, how it is true what she had said about Sri Ramakrishna. There is another incident which we see in Sri Ramakrishna's life, how a simple-hearted person would recognize the greatness and glory of the divine incarnation. There is another lady by her name Brinde. She was a maidservant, and she used to sweep the room of Sri Ramakrishna, and she was employed in the temple of Dakshineshwar Kali Mother, and she would attend to the needs of Sri Ramakrishna. One day, Master Mahashai, who became later on the great recorder of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, who is called as Yam, he, for the first time, he came with his friends to see Sri Ramakrishna, and he did not know anything, so he was just asking that lady, Brinde, whether there is a person, a holy person here. Is it true he is here? Then the lady immediately said, "Yes, he is there. He is there inside. You go and sit and see him." And next they asked, "Is he a scholar? Has he read many scriptures, etc.?" Then the Brinde said, "What are you talking about scholarship? He knows all about the scriptures. They are all on his tongue. He doesn't have to read as you are reading every day. Everything is on his tongue. And he is easily accessible. He is not reserved. He is not conservative. He is open to everyone." See, this simple lady, how she could recognize the remarkable great quality of Sri Ramakrishna, and how she could recognize that God is very easily accessible and anybody could go and see and get his blessings. And Master Maharshi was astonished. And when he went inside, he literally saw how Sri Ramakrishna was simpler than the simplest, greater than the greatest. That is how we can describe Sri Ramakrishna. So through Sri Ramakrishna, through his life, through his teachings in the gospel, we must learn. Sri Ramakrishna himself says, as long as I live, so long do I learn. Without that attitude of learning, it is difficult to make any headway in spiritual path. Page 684, to Sri Ramakrishna, Master Maharshi said, "Now sir, you can follow the story." M. read, "Nishi, I am a daughter of Bhavani Patak. He is my father. He has also in a way given me in marriage." Prafulla, "What do you mean?" Nishi, "I have surrendered my all to Krishna." Prafulla, "How is that?" Nishi, "My beauty, youth and soul." Prafulla, "Then he is your husband?" Nishi, "Yes, because he alone is my husband who completely possesses me." Prafulla with a sigh, "I don't know. You talk that way because you don't know what a husband is. If you had a real husband, you could never have liked Sri Krishna." The foolish Brajeshwar, Prafulla's husband, was unaware that his wife loved him so much. Nishi said, "All can love Sri Krishna because he has infinite beauty, infinite youth and infinite splendor." This young lady was a disciple of Bhavani and well versed in logic, but Prafulla was illiterate. She could not answer Nishi's arguments, but the writers of the Hindu social laws knew the reply. God is infinite, no doubt, but one cannot keep the infinite in the small cage of the heart. One can do so only with the finite. Therefore, the infinite creator of the universe is worshipped by the Hindu in the cage of his heart as Sri Krishna, the finite personal God. The husband of a woman has a still more definite form. Therefore, if the wife cherishes pure conjugal love, the husband becomes the first step towards God. Hence, the husband is the only deity to the Hindu women. Other societies are inferior to Hindu society in this respect. Prafulla was an ignorant girl. She could not understand Nishi's arguments. She said, "Friend, I don't understand all these arguments, but you haven't yet told me your name." Nishi, "Bhavani Patak has given me the name of Nishi, night. I am the sister of Diva, day. One day I shall introduce my sister to you. Let me continue what I was saying. God alone is the real husband, and to a woman the husband is her only God. Sri Krishna is a God of all. Why should we cherish two deities, two gods? If you divide the little bhakti of this small heart, how little there will be." Prafulla, "Don't be silly. Is there any limit to a woman's bhakti?" Nishi, "There is no end to a woman's love, but bhakti is one thing and love another." Summarizing part of the book, M said that Bhavani initiated Prafulla into spiritual life. He continued reading. During the first year, Bhavani did not allow any man to enter Prafulla's house, nor did he allow her to speak to any man outside the house. During the second year, the rule about speaking was withdrawn, but no man was allowed inside her house. In the third year, Prafulla shaved her head. Now Bhavani allowed his select disciples to see her. The shaven-headed disciple would converse with them on spiritual topics, keeping her eyes cast on the ground. M then read that Prafulla began the study of the scriptures, that she finished grammar and read Raghuvamsha, Kumarasambhava, Shakuntala and Naishada, and that she studied a little of the Sankhya, Vedanta and Nyaya philosophies. Master said, "Do you know what that means? Perhaps, do you know what that means? People like the author of this book believe that knowledge is impossible without the study of books. They think that first comes the knowledge of books and then comes the knowledge of God. In order to know God, one must read books. But if I want to know Jadu Malik, must I first know the number of his houses and the amount of money he has in government securities? Do I really need all this information? Rather, I should somehow enter his house, be it by flattering his gatekeepers or by disregarding their rough treatment, and talk to Jadu Malik himself. Then, if I want to know about his wealth or possessions, I shall only have to ask him about them. Then it will be a very easy matter for me. First comes Rama, then his riches, that is the universe. That is why Valmiki repeated the mantra Mara. Ma means God, Ra the world, that is to say his riches. The devotees listened to the master's words with rapt attention. M continued with the story of Prafulla. Prafulla finished her studies and then practiced spiritual austerity for many days. Then one day Bhavani visited her. He wanted to instruct her about selfless work. He quoted to her from the Gita, "Therefore, do thou always perform obligatory actions without attachment. By performing action without attachment, one attains to the highest." He told her the three characteristics of disinterested action. First, control of the sense organs. Second, absence of egotism. And third, surrendering the fruit of action to Sri Krishna. He further told her that no dharma is possible for the egotistic person. Quoting from the Gita, he said, "The gunas of Prakriti perform all action. With the understanding diluted by egotism, man thinks I am the doer." Bhavani next spoke to her about surrendering the fruit of action to Sri Krishna. Again he quoted from the Gita, "Whatever thou dost, whatever thou eatest, whatever thou givest away, whatever austerity thou practicest, O son of Kunti, do that as an offering unto me." Master said, "This is fine. These are the words of the Gita. One cannot refute them. But something else must be noted. The author speaks about surrendering the fruit of action to Sri Krishna, but not about cultivating bhakti for him." Yam said, "No, that is not especially mentioned here." Next, Prafulla and Bhavani talked about the use of money. Prafulla said that she offered all her wealth to Krishna. Yam read from the book again. Prafulla, "Like my actions, I offer all my wealth to Sri Krishna." Bhavani, "All?" Prafulla, "Yes, all." Bhavani, "In that case, you won't be able to perform action in a detached spirit. If you have to work to earn your food, you will be attached to that work. Hence, there are two alternatives before you. Either you will have to get your food by begging, or you will have to live on your money. Even a beggar becomes attached to the alms he receives. Therefore, you must use your own money to maintain your body." Master Mahashya said to the master smiling, "That is the nature of the calculating mind." Master said, "Yes, that is the nature of the calculating mind. That is the way the worldly man thinks. But he who seeks God plunges headlong. He doesn't calculate about how much or how little he needs for the protection of his body." We shall stop here. Any question? Yeah, the reason because he wanted to test that disciple whether he could do it. When he came to know that he was capable of doing it and he was proceeding towards that, immediately Sri Ramakrishna stopped it, saying, "Don't do that," because he was suffering by that cancer which has come to him by the will of God, which he has explained also in one of his talks, that he got this cancer on account of the sins he took away from Girish Chandra Ghosh, because he accepted Girish Chandra Ghosh as his disciple. All his sins were to be burnt, and that burning the sins of his disciple, Sri Ramakrishna had to suffer from cancer. So, and moreover, he was always telling that he was not bothered about this body or whatever that is happening to the body, because the mind is always in Divine Mother. So whatever that is happening, let it happen. Why should we interfere in the nature, in the law of nature? That's how he explained. In order to test Nagar Mahashaya, he told like that. But when he proved his test, then Sri Ramakrishna stopped him. That's all. Even though it's not curable. Even though cancer is not curable.
Well, now it is.
Treatment is there.
If you catch it early.
You see, for example, the throat cancer, it is not curable. But it can be controlled, and they can prolong the life, that's all. But they can't they can't free the man from the pain of the cancer. They give all sorts of therapy. But if it is the initial stage, probably it is possible to cure. But if it is advanced, then nobody can cure. Yeah. Anyway, Sri Ramakrishna has explained it also other time also, because he cured the dysentery of the wife of Madhur Babu. He had to suffer later on by stomach problem for 6 months. So suffering is like a burning the impurities. So he took the impurities of other person and he burnt them. So he got cancer. About what? It all depends upon how you deal with the matter. That's all. It all depends upon how you deal with the subject. There are so many ways. Either taking treatment and leaving the result to God. That's one way. Another way is bearing the suffering. Like that. 2 alternatives are there. In both the alternatives, you have to rely upon God. Who? No. Sri Ramakrishna is the teacher. Alright, we shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame, as many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one, in thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when the instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign side righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied, for he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.